All right, welcome everybody. I am Jess Carter, and I did my presentation, my topic brief, on safety regulations and requirements in technology education. I am a technology and engineering teacher. That's a fancy way for me to say that I teach shop. I teach shop, but I also teach engineering as well. Um, One big issue that's always faced me as a tech ed teacher is safety. It permeates everything. It's just the foundation, the basis for everything I do in my shop, and it's the first thing I cover with my students in my class, and it's covered daily. Every single day in my classes, we're covering safety. So when I got the chance to research regulations and requirements as it applies to law, I jumped on it. It's been something that I've wanted to know more about. Great opportunity for me. I hope you enjoy this presentation. If nothing else, it's got lots of cool pictures of my students' projects in it. So enjoy. All right, why is this work important? More than any other subject, and this includes PE, there's a chance for serious injury. You know, working in shops is inherently dangerous. Things come up, things happen. So we have to be very serious about safety. There's a tremendous amount of responsibility and liability on my part to teach those students correctly. As we get through, you'll see how much liability and responsibility actually relies on me. Finally, with STEM. Now, if you don't know what STEM is, STEM stands for Science, Technology, Engineering, and Math. I won't go into too much explanation here. A good Google search would kind of bring you up to speed on what you need to know. But with STEM coming along and the new reforms and things it's going to bring, there's going to be a lot more students taking hands-on classes like mine, getting into my engineering classes. Those students are going to create a problem for me. I don't have enough room for them in my shops. I don't have enough equipment. How am I going to deal with that? It's scary, but exciting at the same time. Couple pictures at the bottom, one on the left. That's actually a block of aluminum that a student used a CNC mill to engrave the Batman logo. Funny enough, I actually got a bunch of the aluminum shavings from that logo stuck in my right eye. Very scary. It was a good opportunity to, to rediscuss safety with my students. Finally, lower right-hand corner, syringe robots. Very fun. Teaches students principles of engineering and hydraulics. CTE teachers. To become a CTE teacher, you must have a specific endorsement on your license, obviously. CTE endorsements don't necessarily come by going to a four-year university, though. That's a component of getting your CTE endorsement. However, to get an endorsement, a specific endorsement on your license, you must have industry experience. I have an automotive endorsement on my license, which means I can teach automotive repair in schools. I spent 10 years in industry. I wouldn't have got that endorsement had I not spent time in industry. So if you want to teach metal shop, wood shop, automotive, any of those skilled and technical areas in a high school, you must have industry experiences. A lot of the applied technology colleges hire teachers straight out of industry. They don't have college education. So special CTE licenses exist where a teacher can come right out of industry and teach based purely on industry experience. Finally, a general CTE endorsement allows a teacher to teach any CTE subject at the junior high level. That's why, it's very important for an administrator to know who they're hiring at a junior high level. You don't want to hire somebody who was a computer programmer to teach woodshop, even at a junior high level. Even though they could, probably not a good idea. Something to watch out for you future administrators. Safety training programs. These are guidelines the state sets up for me, things that they want to see me training students on. Things such as general safety, hand tools, machine tools, eye safety, protective equipment. I must use tests on all tools and machines to be used. I know teachers who even have safety tests for hot glue guns. I've had more accidents on a hot glue gun than I have on my bandsaws. It's crazy. Okay? I must maintain safety tests until students are 19 years old. There's a law in Utah, it's under notice of claim, which says someone can file a claim against another person a year after the incident happened. That goes for adults. So my students could actually sue me for something that happened to them when they were 14 years old, clear up until the time that they're 19. I'm kind of going a little extreme and keeping safety tests till students are 21. That way, I hope that I'll be covered under some tort immunity, which means that if I can prove that I wasn't negligent and I did what I needed to do, I'll be okay. Finally, I have to keep all my accident report investigations as well. Had a few of those, teaching metal shop. Okay, restricted rights. There's a chapter in the book that talks about students and their rights of clothing and these different things in schools. In my shop, I kind of restrict those rights. If a student isn't looking right to me, I've had students take, allergy medications, cold medications, things that make them drowsy, some home self-medication. They don't look right, I don't let them in the shop. They stay in the classroom that day, they do work out of the book. I'm not having a student come into my shop, hopped up on NyQuil, and chop a finger off and try to come after me. So I deny access to machines, tools, and sometimes even the shop. Students wearing flip-flops, not working in my shop. Okay? Jewelry, wristbands, those kind of things, rings, got to come off. Long hair, got to be tied up. And then there's protective equipment they must wear, things like safety glasses. So I can force them to not wear things, and I can force them to wear things. Very interesting. Equipment use. There is no standard equipment use policy from the state of Utah. I could send a 12-year-old 7th grader out to use a table saw that would just mangle them. The restrictions are all on me. What's reasonable? Do I know what's reasonable or do I not? Okay, there's a lot of liability left up to your tech ed teachers. Okay, some districts such as Alpine have adopted their own equipment usage policies, and I have to follow those strictly, or I could be subject to job loss. For my field activity, I actually interviewed my district CTE coordinator. I interviewed the state supervisor for CTE classes. And then I also went out and visited a few of the shops in Alpine District to see what's going on. A few of the things I noticed were equipment updates. When technology updates makes equipment safer, that old equipment gets out, new equipment goes in. Very expensive, but do you spend money or do you save students? Safety trainings for teachers. And then finally, best practices. What are teachers doing out there that works? What are they doing that may not have worked? We come together as a group of professionals and set those best practices. One scary thing that I noticed when I went out and observed what was going on in some of the shops is there's a lot of inconsistent application of rules and practices. I witnessed some teachers, students out in the shop, teachers sitting in the classroom. That's scary. That's very scary. That's just absolute negligence. Okay? Some teachers enforce safety glasses, other teachers don't. Again, craziness. I could not imagine leaving myself open for that liability. Finally, in conclusion, training and practice is the best way to be safe. Tell my students all the time, I've been in the shop too much, they haven't been in the shop enough, and we're the most dangerous group of people out there. Without safety, vocational programs would cease to exist. As I mentioned earlier, safety is the foundation of everything we do. Safety is a habit and part of our class culture. I love it whenever an office aide or somebody walks into my shop, I have students run up to them, they'll hand them safety glasses and tell them, we don't come in the shop without safety glasses on. Even other teachers, even state and district personnel, they will go up to them and hand them safety glasses. It's fantastic. It's because it's part of my class culture. And finally, safety leads to good experiences and future successes. There's nothing worse than a student getting hurt the first time they go in the shop. They never want to go in again. And that's not what I want to have happen. Appreciated this. If you'd like to read my topic brief, go ahead and email me. If you have questions about this, please do the same. J, just the letter J, Carter, C-A-R-T-E-R, @alpinedistrict.org. Thank you. Hope you enjoyed.